Hello everyone, I hope you're all having a delightful day. Today we're doing an update to my No Pan Left Behind series. I'm doing this centered around my singles collection. I did a project last year where I tracked my usage and all of my eyeshadows and my blushes too, actually. Anyway, after I finished that project, I discovered that I had not really reached for much of my single shadows at all during that entire year. So this year I'm trying to use them. I have them all in a spreadsheet. I pull as many as I can fit into one of my little magnetic palettes. And then my goal is just to use as many as I can through the month. And when another month rolls around, I just refill it. And so far this project has been so fun. I love my singles collection and it has just been helping me get back into them. So yeah, I've been enjoying this very much. All the shadows I managed to reach for, I moved over into this palette. So these are all of the shadows that will be rolling out. I'm wearing this one from Colourpop today. That's the shade Glass Bowl. It is a beautiful shadow. It's not super intense. So I know a lot of shifty shadows like this, you can get a lot of different versions of them from different indie brands. The one from Colourpop I feel like is a good intro to them because it's not so intense, or if you just prefer a less intense eyeshadow, I think that it's really pretty, and I'm honestly finding myself leaning more towards that these days. I was very appreciative of some comments you guys made in one of my last videos where I was going through my wish list, and a lot of the indie brands I mentioned, I asked you guys for your reviews on them, and more than one of you said that the shadows are gorgeous but so intense they're hard to wear on a daily basis, and that really resonated with me and helped me to hold back from purchasing them. At least right now, I'm not looking for insanely intense duochromes or just metallics in general. I still love my eyeshadows, but I do prefer a little bit more of a soft look, and this one from Colourpop I think is just beautiful for that. Anyway, so that was good. If I have any relevant looks to share, if I managed to take a picture of anything, I will put it on the screen. But I managed to make it through several of these pinks. I know this blue from Sydney Grace, I believe that's the shade Pensacola. I use that as a liner. This is Daydreamer from Makeup Geek. I topped it off with this beautiful purple sparkly top coat from Glam Shop. I believe that same day I used this gray from Sydney Grace through my crease. That was a really beautiful eye look. I also used all of the cream shadows that I had pulled last month. I was very happy about that. So I managed to use Colourpop Couche on me. It's a little bit silvery, but still very neutral, very pretty. My Maybelline Socialite is getting a little bit dry, but I was still able to make it work. I still think this is a really, really pretty everyday pink. It's not too warm. I really don't care for warm pinks most of the time, so I really like that shade. I used my Bodyography Off the Hook, which is, oh, so stunning. If you've never tried the Bodyography eyeshadows, if you've been tempted by the ones from Hourglass, the scattered light shadows, the Bodyography are more affordable and they're the same type of shadow with the beautiful twinkly scattered light effect. They're really beautiful. And lastly, this is not a cream shadow, but it's a single one in its own little package. This is Urban Decay Moondust Shadow in Space Cowboy. And this is very, very easy to reach for. Again, it creates that beautiful twinkly effect, and it's very easy to throw into an eye look without it overpowering anything. Always a joy to reach for that. So then, this is the palette that I have been filling with the shadows I want to reach for every month. I actually did reach for this one as well. There just wasn't room in that other palette. So this is from Give Me Glow. This is one of their foiled pressed pigments, and this is just called Highlight. I'm actually wearing this in my inner corner today, and I know I did reach for it another day as well to use it in my inner corner. It's a very bright white, so I barely used any. But this was also used, so that's going to be going back into the collection. Otherwise, these are the shadows I have not reached yet. So only 5 shadows out of that whole selection I haven't reached for. I'm pretty happy with that. I wasn't sure how many of these I would reach for throughout the month, but turns out I was into them. So now we get to the fun part where I'm going to randomly generate some numbers to fill in the rest of this palette. So as always, I'm going to screen record. I have the numbers 1 through 93. Let's go ahead and generate our first number, 39. That's a Glam Shop shadow, and that is the shade Pink Champagne. So that's what this one looks like. It should be a very wearable tone. Yeah, it's definitely more on the champagne side than the actual pink side. I'm sorry if I'm a bit washed out today. It's raining, and I was gonna plug in my ring light to help with the situation, and the plug-in on my ring light is broken. So we'll just have some natural light coming through the window today, but since it's so dark behind me, I don't know, I feel like I'm getting kind of washed out. So hopefully these will show up. Generating our next number, 84. Sydney Grace Cupid. I do not remember what this one is. It might be a matte. Aha, I found it. It is not a matte. It is a beautiful kind of plummy shimmer. Ooh, that's Cupid. Okay, next number, 21. Ooh, this is my only shadow from Ace Beauty. I don't know. It's a glimmer shadow in the shade Iced Latte. So this is sort of like Colourpop Super Shock. It comes in very similar packaging and it's the same kind of squishy formula. This is a really pretty, again, fall shade. Ooh. Okay, next, 48. That's a Sydney Grace shadow. Oh, the shade Turtle Doves. This is a classic. Turtle Doves is a beautiful, super wearable, soft pink. This will be super easy to reach for this one. All right, again, 49. That's Sydney Grace Peyton's Puppy, which this is the only shadow I've ever received from Sydney Grace that I had to repress. So whenever they were making it, they had pressed it so hard into the pan that I actually could not get any product out. So I had to completely clean out the pan of all the product and repress it myself. So now it's much more softly pressed. I can actually get product out of there. That's the only time that's happened to me with Sydney Grace. And this is a nice neutral matte color, kind of a peachy neutral. All right, let's generate again. Number 23. That's another Sydney Grace shadow, and this is the shade Immortal, which, that might be purple. Why did I say that so funny? Immortal. Aha, here we have Immortal. So, this is a beautiful kind of icy lavender. It's very light, but it would go really pretty with this color here. All right, next, shade number 45. That is another Sydney Grace shadow, but this is a cream. So this is the shade Starstruck. And if I remember correctly, this one might actually have some glitters in it. You need the tiniest dot of these cream shadows. Yeah, it does. So it's like a soft pink, but with bigger glitters in it there. Hopefully you can see that. Awesome. Always good to roll some of my cream shadows. Okay, let's get another number. We have number 40. This is from Glam Shop, and this is the shade Magic. This is a super stunning sparkly top coat shade. Let's try and see if it'll show up. Oh good, sort of. You can see it has kind of a beigey champagne-y base on it. But it's one of those shadows that has a beautiful wet look. Gorgeous. Okay, next number, 33. Nabla Entropy. So Nabla has redone their single shadow collection. I don't know which shadows they still have, but I know that this one I absolutely adore. So it's kind of a silvery taupe, I suppose, but it's not too silvery. But this formula lays so gently and softly and just luxuriously across the lid. Oh, it's so pretty. Gorgeous everyday color. So far we have this much space filled, so we have a little bit more room. So let's generate another number, number 83. That is my Maybelline single shadow in the shade Nude Glow. So I think they might have updated the packaging on this. I have the older packaging. I recently was in Walmart and I just saw these again, so I know that they're still out there. I always wondered the status of products like these, but this is actually really, really nice. It's a beautiful everyday shadow. And I'm always surprised at how nice that shadow is. Isn't that great? Okay, next one, number 49. Oh yeah, we already rolled that shade, so let's generate again, 62. Okay, so this is a shade from my Kaja Orange Blossom trio. This is I think the third shade, Sun-Kissed Tan. Oh, I'm not sure if that's the second or the third shade. Just a second, I have to look this up. Okay, yes, Sun-Kissed Tan is the second shade in the trio, and this is my favorite shade in the trio. Oh, this is so beautiful. I know I really hype up the Kaja shadows, but they really are something. These are more shadows with that gorgeous twinkly effect. They are not heavy and crinkly or crepey on the eyes. And I'm very happy to have pulled this before summer ended, although I guess it's kind of a fall shadow as well. Okay, I had to reload random.org, which is why it's not showing my last generated number, but that's okay. Let's generate another number. 48. I think we already rolled this one, but we'll check and see here. 48. Yeah, we did. So let's generate again. 50. This is another Sydney Gray shade. This is the shade Sweet Jubilee, which I think this is another matte. Yes, so this is a very deep matte. We call that Deep Plum. I did not pick up too much on my finger because I know these are super pigmented. So it's kind of a light swatch of that. Very pretty. Let's generate another number 92. So this is the shade Rose Gold, and this is from JD Glow. This is from their Metalon collection. It's a super metallic rose gold. Definitely a color I can use, but sadly, it won't fit in there. Let's see what I can do here. Okay, oh good. I was able to finagle the shadows so that this shadow can fit in there. So there we have it. This is the palette that I will be reaching for over the next 30 days or so. Try and use as many of these as I can, with the addition of these three: Maybelline, Sydney Grace Cream Shadow, and Ace Beauty Cream Shadow. Out of curiosity, has anyone tried the new CoverGirl single shadows? In the past, I liked their shades, but I really didn't care for the formula. This Maybelline formula is so good. I'm wondering if the CoverGirl one is it better now? Is it similar to the Maybelline one? Nice and creamy? I should just pick one up and try it. But if you guys have tried the new CoverGirl ones, let me know. Got a beautiful color story here. I'm actually really looking forward to using this. That is super beautiful. You've made it to the end of the video, which is where I always talk about my tea of the day. I've been sipping on a classic here on my channel. I always have Genmaicha in my collection. I'll leave a link down below to where I like to order this from. It's really inexpensive and my package lasts me a long time, and it's really good as well. If you haven't had Genmaicha, it's a combination of green tea and roasted rice, and sometimes the roasted rice even gets popped like popcorn when it gets toasted, so it has a little bit of like that toasty popcorny flavor. Just a super kind of homey feeling tea. All right, that's all for me today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.